And there you go, a bass on Chesil. These little monkeys are well spiky. They make you bleed all day long. But there you go, we're on the fish. Hello. Good morning everyone and welcome back to Dorset. Welcome back to our favourite beach. Welcome back to Chesil Beach. How you all doing? Good morning. Well, it's 5 o'clock. We've got here nice and early to hopefully get into a few codling. The wind's died down, but it's gonna rain. And why wouldn't it? It's the Shore Hunter YouTube channel and it rains and it's windy. No, it's fine. I've got my shelter up, as you can see. I am here, look. Woo. So we're just coming up to low water and high water is lunchtime. About 12 o'clock. And we've got a chance. So we're gonna be fishing from low water all the way up. So we've got flooding tide. As I've mentioned, it's gonna rain, but it's fine. Might have to have the camera or you in with me in the shelter, but we'll get by. Most of the sessions are like extreme sessions now with the weather, and we're kind of getting used to it. So what I'm gonna do now is set my rods up. I'll bring you back. Simple techniques. Fresh blacks, 5-foot pulleys, 7-ounce grip leads. Stick it out there and hopefully we can get into a few cod. As you can see, it definitely looks a little bit moody this morning. Yeah, we've got a chance. Quite a brisk wind again, southwesterly, 25 mile an hour. But yeah, we're pretty much used to this now, aren't we? So I'm going to be punching some leads out. What I will do is wait for it to get a little bit lighter and I'll run over my rigs and we'll do some baiting up, but I think you know how to do that by now. Kit wise today, pretty standard, competition naga, competition performance, 7 HTs, 15 pound main line, 0.34, 18 to 80 pound tapered shock leader. Pretty standard stuff. Hopefully, can be simple fishing. As you've seen in my last video when I come down night fishing, it's hard work at night. You get hammered, and I mean hammered by biting. What I like about fishing daylight in Chesil, and that's why I do it, firstly, it films a lot better and we can make a nicer video. But you don't get hammered by shit fish. Well, we shouldn't do anyway. So today, our bait should stay intact. Well, hopefully, more than 5 minutes, unlike the last video. And if we get a bite, it could or should just be a cod, or maybe a bream. But we will see. It's still early. It's still the start of August, and there's a few cod around, so who knows? But as you know by now, we got the effort. Have we got the skill? I don't know, you decide that. But yeah, let's do some fishing. Let's get back in the shelter, watch those tips, and hopefully we can get into some rod bending action and I can catch us a few more summer codling. Good morning everyone. Welcome back to this beautiful beach. As you know by now, it's a privilege to be out fishing for you, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It costs you nothing and it gives me some incentive to get out and make these nice videos for you, which hopefully you can enjoy sat at home or maybe on the toilet or in the work van. You know what I mean. Thanks everyone. Let's do some fishing. go. I'm sure you know this by now, but my favourite time to fish Chesil Beach is first light. The codling come through. We're just coming up to low water, which is a great time to be fishing for codling on Chesil and rays and pretty much any fish. A lot of people say to me, oh, is it best to fish over high? Historically, we used to fish pretty much all around the UK, probably 2 hours up, 3 hours back maybe, and that used to be the key time. But for me, it doesn't really matter on Chesil. I prefer the flood, if I'm being honest, but as long as I've got tide pool, as we say, tide and fish. At some points this morning, we're gonna have no tide, and then other times we're gonna have lots of tide, and that's generally when the cod move along the beach. I've been here fishing before, I'm not sure if you have, when there's groups of people all the way along and the cod come along from like left to right or right to left, depending on which way the tide's running. Yeah, it does massively make a difference. Anyway, let's get a bait in the water. How I think it's gonna go this morning. Bream, could get into a few bream, then hopefully we might get slack lined and catch a few codling. But it's still early, so I'm not gonna be disappointed if I don't. And the water's cleared right out. As you've seen in my last couple of videos, when I've been cod fishing, I've had a couple, but the water's been chocolate. But it doesn't really matter. The fish will still be here. Let's get a bait in the water. That's what you're saying. Nothing fancy today. And there we are, the first one's in the water. And we're fishing. As you know by now, because I'm using multipliers, I've had 2 or 3 casts already to check the line lay, and I know that the tide's pushing from right to left. So that's why I've walked up from my shelter, gone up right. Now my line's settled pretty much straight out in front of me. And I know my bait is pinned and my rig is pinned to the deck. But look, wish me luck everyone. Thanks again for joining me. I hope you're doing all right, hope you're staying safe. You know, it's a bit of a mutual thing. Right, let's go. Better turn my headlamp off. And there you go. 7/8 gripper, splash down, 5-foot pulley to a single black. A J hook and my circle hook with my magic tubing. Let's go. I'm gonna put this one a little bit further. Oh, some lovely tide. When I get this one out, I'll get you on the rods. And that first rod I put out's pulled right round, so we've definitely got a chance. There we go. Out there, against the wind. Look at those rods sat in the tide. That's amazing. Hey, I'm pretty confident. Look at that. So what we're hoping for really is just a pull down slack. And as you know, I love fishing daylight because I can hopefully show you them sort of things. The other night when I was fishing at night, it's just pretty shit if I'm being honest. Just sit there and, I don't know. But needs must. I got out, we caught a nice conger. And I had like loads of pouting and yeah, it's just nice to be out. It's beautiful. Look at them. Just hopefully my baits don't get stripped. The other evening I was just 5 minutes gone. But what I find on Chesil is, if you catch a fish in daylight, it's a quality fish. Cod, rays, plaice. Like I say, you get these fish all night, but you get hassled by lots of smaller stuff. But some people just fish at night. I love fishing in the day. The birds are out looking at me like vultures. They're pretty hungry, and I am too. So we do some cooking today. Have a few brews, just have a nice time, sat in the shelter. Probably hiding from the rain, that's imminent. According to the weather app, it's going to rain from 6 o'clock till 2 o'clock. So pretty much the whole time I'm fishing, but I don't care. We've got the shelter, got some nice warm kit. A we'll be reet, as they say up north. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, there is the Naga, there's the performance. The two sisters are sat in the tide. I'm going to bait up a spare rig and I'll leave that to you. So this morning I've got fresh blacks, unlike last time. Well, I did have fresh, they just got lost. Some people like fresh, some people like them frozen. You know, we're all different. Bait needle. Medium elastic. Or Baytex. There we go. I'm sure you know this, but I like to reiterate stuff again. When your baits are getting stripped, what you need to do is have a spare rig. It doesn't take too long for me to put a fresh black on there and bind it up and put it on the hook. But if you're here fishing for 8 hours, and every time you bring in the rod, you've got one rod out there, and you're taking, say, a minute or 2 minutes to bait up, that's quite a lot of time. What you will see, what I do is, I wind in if I've been stripped or a fish. If I'm putting the fish back, I'll unhook it straight away. If I'm keeping it or there's no fish, unclip it, put the next rig on. We call this double patting in the fishing world. It comes from match fishing really, and speed and efficiency when you're fishing. Get the second one out and continue. Look at that, simple, eh? So I'm not really concentrating on you lot, I'm just watching the rods. It's like daydreaming, but you know what I mean. Also, it's bloody early. But it's nice, it's my favourite time of the day, especially cod fishing on Chesil. And there you go. Small baits. Get it out there. Yeah, what we want really is just a slack line. The good thing this year is the cod are lovely, as you've seen. They're all from sort of £3 to 6. That was out there 10 minutes, completely stripped. So what I've done is preempted this and brought some squid with me. So I'm just going to bulk the baits out. It's not ideal, I don't really like doing that. I just want to fish with straight, fresh blacks, small baits, ping it out there. Normally get into the cod, but I just can't fish through whatever. They're taking all my elastic and everything. Like I've not even put a bait on that. 10 minutes. you know. Yeah, boy. Sausage fest. It's like a night in with my mates. Joking. We'll be eating them in a bit. If I get a minute from baiting up. But, right. Let's bait up. Riot baits. Some lovely squid. It's a little bit pink, so I got it out last night, but I'm not really worried. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to make it a squid bait as such. I'm just going to put a strip of squid alongside my worm, just to hope it bulks it out a little bit and allows my bait to be in the water for more than like 2 minutes. It's just messy, but the bream like it. A little strip of squid, like so, on the bait needle. Single black. Give it a little whack, like so. Still going to try and keep it small base, but just hopefully as the sun comes up the little bream will clear off, but I don't even know what it is, like I said. It's madness. Could be little crabs or shrimps or prawns. I've not managed to catch one. But all I know is they love worm and they love eating all my baits and clearing me out. So. There you go, a little bit of squid, just to bulk out the bait. There we are, do the first one again. Bait, cast, repeat. Bait, cast, repeat. It's like fishing the Solent for stingrays. Just you don't get a chance to sit down and chill out. There we go. Glad I got the shells there. It's pretty windy out there. It's coming across here, so it's quite nice where we are. Wow, that's truly unbelievable. It's the quickest I've ever known our baits get stripped here on Chesil. It's about 3 minutes for half a squid and a black. I'm going to run out of bait in about 2 hours at this rate. So what I want to do really is try and catch a pike in. Oh, I've got a bite. Oh, look at that. Left hand rod. That's a bream. Wait a minute now. Could be a trigger the way that's going on. Fish on. Yes. This doesn't feel small. What I was just going to tell you is I've just dropped it in short. See if I can get a bait to last in the water. I've just had a bite. I checked this one 20 yards. Hopefully that's the key for a bit. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to fish. Oh, what's this? If this is a bream, it's a good one. bass. That's what I get for casting in short. It's all right. And my bait is still whole as well, nice. Hey, that's quite skillful, that was. And there you go, a bass on Chesil. These little monkeys are well spiky. They make you bleed all day long, but there you go. We're on the fish. I can't really put a bait out. It's such a shame because I know out in that tide, there'd be plenty of cod, but we may have to just put up with a few of these for a bit, and hopefully, whatever it is stripping off my baits clears off when the tide starts running. But there you go, there's a beautiful spiky bass on, almost said beautiful Chesil, you know what I mean, but there you go, we're on the fish. Well, I've just put this bass back and this one's gone as well. This could be the key, fishing 20 yards out. I can virtually see my leader. Yes, we're into a fish again. It's such a shame I can't cast further out because I know the cod will be there. I'm not sure what this is. This might be a small bream. It's nice to be fishing. I said I just don't know what it is out there. It might be small bream or... But whatever it is, they're not in close. Might just come off this. No, he's still there. Maybe a little bream. Slack line me on a 7-ounce lead though. Yes. Nice bream. Over now. Look at that. Bait and everything. 20 yards out, it's a key then. I've just put them both 20 yards out. I had a fish on both. Madness. Good skill though. And there we go. Second fish in 2 minutes. Yeah, I've been putting the baits further out and they've been getting stripped after a couple of minutes. It's not really fishable, so what I've done is just put a whole squid and a couple of blacks 20 yards out, come back, put the rods in the rest, and they've both gone. So maybe the fish are in there feeding as well, because whatever it is out there is stripping the baits. It'll be right. I'll get this little chap back, but that's a nice bream. There we go. Right, what I'm going to do, I'd be stupid not to just drop these out 20 yards again. Just a simple overhead thump. The unfortunate thing is I don't think I'll get the cod in close, but I can't fish at range. My baits are getting stripped after 2 seconds, and it can't be a coincidence that I just drop them in short and I get a bass and a bream at the same time, and I've been fishing for like an hour and a half without a bite. So let's just plop it out there. There you go, simple. The trouble with this reel, it doesn't like it when I just do a simple overhead thump. It's a little bit lively, so I might blow it up a few times, but look, that's fishing. I've changed, I've adapted to the situation, and it seems for now to be working. Hopefully whatever's feeding out there, maybe prawns, maybe little crabs, probably little bream, they clear off with the tide, and then I'm able to put a bait out in the tide. Hopefully then I'll get into a few codling, but for now I'm sure the bass and the bream will keep me company for a bit. Try and get a big one, yeah? Yeah, I'm just still doing the squid and lug cocktails. I'll show you in a minute. Just like that. Chucking it 30 yards. I seem to be able to fish in there for sort of 10 minutes, quarter of an hour before it's stripped, whereas anything past 30, 40 yards. Just a minute ago I cast out, got a bird's nest in my reel, had it overrun. When I wind it back in, the bait had already gone. after like 2 minutes. So it's just not fishable out there. It's a shame because there's plenty of tide and I definitely would have caught a few cod. But that's fishing. I've adapted. I'm getting bites and we're having a go. The rain's not come yet. Oh, there's a bite on the left one. That's a bream bite. Yeah, the rain's not come yet. I'll show you around. Coming now. Pretty windy out there. Woo! Ooh, get back in here. Oh, it's not nice out there. It's very stormy again. Massive slack line. I only chucked this one just in the gutter. I literally threw it in the gutter. Slack line massively. Could be a nice bream, I think. Still there. Well, it may not be as big as I thought. Crazy. I virtually see my leader. This little fish is kiting. But yep. And there we are. Another bream. Woohoo! On the bream. I still can't cast out. If I cast out, my baits get stripped within seconds. They're getting stripped in here, but as you can see, there's a few fish around. And there you go. There's another beautiful black bream. This one's really pale. Whoa. Yeah, it's still hard work, everyone. If I chuck it 20, 30 yards, my bait lasts about 10 minutes. If I put it any further, I can't even fish. But look, it doesn't matter. I'm not moaning. I'm adapting and overcoming. I wish I could bang it out into the cod territory, but it's not happening today. But I'm gonna get this little chap back. That's another bream, and we're catching fish on the beautiful Chesil beach. Wow, I've just checked my watch, and I've been fishing for exactly 8 hours. I've had 2 better bream and the bass. I've had 3 or 4 smaller bream, and it's been emotional. Been a nice little session, but it's a shame I'm getting stripped. And I've just got to constantly keep casting. I've used 6 wraps of black and virtually a packet of squid. And I'm changing my baits every 10 minutes. And to be fair, I could have probably cut that down to 5 minutes if that's humanly possible, because I'm getting stripped constantly. But I battled through it. I changed my plan. Obviously I wanted to fish for cod. That's just not happening. But I've been out and I've had a nice little session. But look, I'm going to continue packing up. This has been Chesil Beach. My name's Wayne. Thanks for joining me again. Sorry it's been a little slow, but hopefully the weather has settled down. Whatever it is out there stripping us will go away somewhere else. In the next few weeks, I promise you, we will get into a few more fish and I will make you some better videos. But we're off to Cyprus next week, something different. I've got a couple of trips planned before we go out at the Bristol Channel, so hopefully I can make us some nice videos before I go. If not, I'll see you in Cyprus. Thanks again, everyone, and see you soon.